Hello, my name is Kamryn Walker, and this is my persuasive speech. Every day, approximately 125,000 abortions occur worldwide. That's 125,000 precious, irreplaceable lives being taken before they even get the chance to take their first breath. The Bible reminds us in Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made." If God purposely makes all of us with intention and value, how can we justify destroying these lives? Today I want to persuade you that abortion is not a medical procedure, but is the taking of innocent human life and an act of murder that we have a moral duty to oppose. Also, as members of a society that value justice and compassion, we have to ask ourselves, how can we stand by when the lives of the most vulnerable among us are at stake? Today I will discuss why life begins at conception, how abortion represents the unjust taking of life, and how we must advocate for the protection of the unborn as a matter of morality, human rights, and also our Christian beliefs. To understand the moral implications of abortion, we must first explore the fundamental belief that life begins at conception. This foundational truth is crucial to recognize the humanity of the unborn and the rights that accompany it. As I mentioned before, life begins at conception, making the unborn child a human being with the same moral right to life as any other person. According to definition, abortion is the deliberate ending of an innocent human life, and as such should be recognized as morally equivalent to murder. The argument lies on whether or not the baby is a dependent being as they're in the womb, able to own living rights and be considered a human, or at what point they get those rights. To me, taking these lives is a deliberate extermination of life and should be considered equivalent to murder. According to the Creation Museum, an article called "When Does Life Begin?", life begins at fertilization, where the chromosomes from the sperm and the egg combine, forming a genetically unique individual. This assertion emphasizes the biological reality that at the moment of fertilization, a new organism is created, distinct from either parent. This organism possesses a complete new set of DNA containing all the genetic information necessary for growth, development, and function. The central argument in the abortion debate revolves around whether a fetus, despite its dependence on the mother, should be considered a human with rights. The question is, at what point do these rights begin? Some argue that these rights begin at conception, while others suggest they develop later, which is concerning when God creates his children with a purpose from the point they are placed within the womb. Abortion represents a deliberate extermination of a life and aligns closely with the definition of murder, or the unlawful taking of another person's life. This perspective challenges us to reevaluate our moral values, because to accept abortion is to undermine the fundamental principle that all human beings, regardless of their stage of development or dependency, have a right to exist. Recognizing the fetus as a living human being is crucial to understanding that abortion is not merely a medical procedure, but a profound moral issue that demands our attention and our advocacy. Overall, this is a way in which we can get an understanding of what abortion is and how it is morally unjust and unlawful according to the purposeful creation of God's children, who gain love and rights as soon as they are formed in the mother's womb. Given this understanding of the fetus as a living human being, it becomes clear that society has a moral and legal obligation to protect the most vulnerable among us, including the unborn, by advocating for the end of abortion and supporting life-affirming alternatives. As Christians, abortion goes against our beliefs and God's law, so we have to defend his children since they can't defend themselves. What we can do is look at birth with the beauty it entails. According to Allison McKinney-Tim in the article "The Right to Life is an Essential Human Right" by the Christian Century, birth into this world is not a legal right. It is a blessing from a loving God, a reflection of divine generosity through the sacrifice of those who are called to motherhood. This view invites us to see birth not merely as a biological event, but as a profound gift rich in spiritual significance. The journey of giving life is filled with challenges and joys, where mothers exhibit incredible strength and resilience as they nurture new life, making significant sacrifices along the way. Each child born represents potential and promise, contributing to the greater tapestry of humanity. Understanding birth as a blessing emphasizes that every child is a unique gift, deserving of love and dignity from conception onward. This perspective compels us to advocate for the unborn and to support a culture that honors life. By recognizing the beauty of birth, we affirm our moral obligation to protect those who cannot speak for themselves and celebrate the miracle of life that enriches our communities. She also says that reducing the miraculous gift of birth to a legally coerced mandate takes the creative power God gave humanity to be fruitful and multiply, which ultimately adds to her point. As we embrace the profound significance of birth and recognize it as a divine blessing, we are reminded of our moral responsibility to protect and advocate for every child, ensuring that their right to life is upheld and celebrated. In conclusion, it is crucial to recognize birth as a divine blessing and that every unborn child is a unique gift from God. We are called to uphold the blessing of life, and abortion is just not a medical decision, but the intentional taking of innocent life, which society has a moral and legal duty to prevent. According to Pope St. John Paul II, abortion is the direct killing of an innocent human being and is always gravely immoral. Its victims are the most vulnerable and defenseless members of the human family. It is imperative that those who are called to serve the least among us give urgent attention and priority to this issue of justice. As Christians, we must stand firm in defending the unborn, aligning our actions with God's law and reflecting His love. By advocating for life, affirming alternatives, and fostering a culture that honors life at all stages, we fulfill our responsibility to protect the most vulnerable among us and affirm the inherent value of every human life. I will leave you with this verse again so that you can understand the severity of my message and the importance and beauty of a life growing inside a womb. Psalm 139, verses 13 through 14. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Thank you.